Welcome to Chanel's reality, and this is my reality. Welcome to Chanel's reality, and this is my reality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chanel's reality. I'm Chanel and this is my reality. So today, actually I was supposed to do this yesterday, but whatever. Oh lordy. Okay. Put my TikTok people on too. Okay. Oh, they want to make sure somebody isn't going live as me. I never knew that. Okay. Why is that's not my date of birth. What is that? Oh, this is why. Stop it. All right. What are we doing? Thank you, my love. All right. I never knew I could go live on TikTok. I just did like 10 minutes, so I didn't know. What the hell? That was weird. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody on TikTok. This is my first little TikTok live, so bear with me. I'm also on YouTube. But I wanted to come on here and I was supposed to make this sweet potato cake yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to. And then my sister is having surgery this morning, so I just left the hospital, so I got to whip this up real quick. And I would just love it if you guys will, chime down in the chatterization. Who says that? I can't remember his name. He always says chime down in the chatterization. Anyway, I think his name is, what the hell is his name? Richie Sky, something like that. He's an incredible content creator. So what we're gonna need for this sweet potato cake is I roasted a sweet potato in the oven, and so I pureed it. I'm gonna use 5 eggs, a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of white sugar, a little bit of baking powder, pure vanilla extract, not imitation. I have 2 types of vanilla, and then I also have vanilla paste. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. So I'll just put a little bit of each, and then I have nutmeg to give it a little sweet potato and cinnamon. A little bit of salt as well. Because anytime you're making something sweet, you want to add a little bit of salt to it. They marry well, but not a lot. And I have salted butter, so now that I think about it, I'm not going to add salt. And then I have, supposed to have 2.5 cups of milk. There's a guy, we're using his grandmother's recipe. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, he's on my thing. Okay. I have him over here. So let me just share my screen. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are not subscribed, if you're returning or part of the replay crew, thank you so much for being a part of Chanel's reality. Okay. So we're going to use his recipe. And I'm going to use mine too. Because I play by my own rules.
Grandma loved using separate bowls.
Make sure
so she would add some flour with a little bit of salt, some cinnamon, baking soda, and some nutmeg. We're going to mix this together and then set it to the side. When you're making a pound cake, the first thing you normally do is cream your butter, which is why we're going to add 2 sticks of butter in a bowl. Normally we do 2 cups of sugar, but because we have a star of the show, we're going to do 1.5 cups of brown sugar. You want to drop your mixer and mix this until it gets nice and fluffy. So I took a sweet potato, I put it in the oven on 400 for about an hour to an hour and 20, depending on how big your sweet potato is. I turned it into puree, and we're about to add 1 cup of sweet potato puree into the bowl. After you cream your butter, you always add your eggs. You're going to add 5 to 6 eggs. We're doing 6. You add 1 at a time, mix slowly. We're going to add in some vanilla extract. Let that mix in there a little bit. Remember that flour? Add it to the bowl. And then I have 1 cup of buttermilk. I'm going to add half of that now. You let this mix for 15 seconds. You add the rest of your flour and then add the rest of your buttermilk. Grab your bundt pan, spray some baking spray, and then add your cake batter to the bundt pan. Place your cake in the oven on 325, and we're going to bake it for 1 hour and 10 to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Anytime there's sweet potato, brown.
He said we're going to bake it for, I think he said 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I'm a little concerned, but you know, and he said that to not have your oven all the way preheated. So I'm going to just see if this works. Maybe it will work. I've made really good sweet potato pies and cakes in the past. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let's stop sharing the screen. Here we go. Okay, so he basically gave you all the ingredients. I have my flour over here, and I'm going to sift the flour. This is a little strainer, but we're going to use it as a sifter because of how much flour it is to make it like great. My mixer does have like other attachments. Like it has a thing that can block the flour from flying everywhere and all that. But what I've learned is from the good people on the YouTube is when you're putting the flour in, all you need to do is put this little cloth, and you've probably seen your grandma or your auntie or somebody do this, and then this will keep the flour from going everywhere. Little tip. So let's get into it. So I already pureed my sweet potatoes. The thing that I'm going to be doing a little bit different, and I already put some baking powder in here. Okay, sorry guys. And hey to everybody on TikTok who's watching. I really appreciate you. Okay, so what you have to do when you're making any cake, because baking is very specific, and cakes could be very well, baking in general, it could be what's the right word? There's a good word for it. It's almost like it's temperamental. So you have to have basically everything precise in baking, or your cake could fall, it could spill over, it could, once you take it out of the oven, it looks perfect, but then it still falls inward, cannot be cooked all the way. So it's a lot of different things that happen when you're baking. So you got to be really precise. And I'm looking for my little thing yesterday. I told y'all we had a house fire last year, and we're still working on getting everything organized. It's crazy. Where's my little? Oh. Oh shit. Sorry, guys. See, this is what I mean. We organize all this. Okay. We're gonna put this is for like, if you're making some sort of layered like baklava, use this for the butter. Or if you're making a butter cake too, if need be. Utensil does not want me to be great, and I need to be great. But this is what I'm talking about. This is really cool to use because you don't have to then stick toothpicks and knives and all that kind of stuff. So I use this also because it takes the least amount of air out. Okay, so like the young man said, we're going to start with butter. Everything in baking needs to be room temperature. That's your butter, your eggs, your milk, anything that you're adding here needs to be room temperature. He said we need 2 sticks of butter, but unfortunately, I only have 1. So we're going to work with that. Cream my butter. And hey guys, where's my phone number? You don't want me to be right. I'm going to mute myself like that. Hitting Muted. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was muted. Give me one. Okay, sorry, guys. So what I was saying is you want to add some cinnamon and some nutmeg to your flour. And you want to stir that on up. Let me see if I can find. I told y'all somebody is playing tricks on me. Didn't what's it called them? Bushel Bill say that? Or mine playing tricks on me. Something like that. Don't get me started. This is not gonna this drawer that has the wrong stuff in it, it's not gonna take me down. I should not be moved. Okay, I'm the daughter of the highest king. Get into it. Just saying. So, and the reason I was saying earlier to sift your flour is because it's gonna make for a smoother cake. That's what the people say. So I'm gonna just go with what people say. All right, so I'm gonna wipe down the butter and the brown sugar. And I told y'all he used 2 sticks of sugar, but I only used 1. And that's gonna be okay. Because with adding the sour cream and the eggs and all that, it's gonna be fine because I added extra eggs. This he said this is his grandmother's recipe. So shout out to grandma. Okay. So after you cream your sugar and your butter, you want to add your eggs. You want to be ready. Anyway, you want to add your eggs one at a time. I have 5 eggs. TikTok. Okay. So I'm gonna add these eggs one at a time. Remember, I said baking is temperamental. So it might be right this time, and then next time, be the blue. And then like I used to have before we had the fire, I used to have like clear bowls so you could see everything. God clearly wanted me to have some different bowls, some more expensive ones from Williams Sonoma. I'm just saying. So like I said, one at a time. I still have 2 left. After this one is incorporated, then I'm going to wipe the bowl. And I can already tell that some of it isn't getting in there. We want all of our eggs. Yeah, like listen, we got a whole ass problem. Shout out to the people overseas tuning in to Chanel's Reality. Love y'all. Love y'all. Keep tuning in. Go to my YouTube channel and go ahead and subscribe if you like the content you're receiving. All right, so we wiped the bowl down, and now we're gonna let this go a little bit longer. The thing is, it's best to get all of your stuff incorporated before you put the flour, because once you put the flour, you can't keep mixing it. You can overmix it, and it can curdle. It could be a whole bunch. Two more eggs. So another good tip. Oh shoot! Hold on. My phone. They won't let me be great. Can I turn this on? It won't let me. Okay. So this is what your batter should look like. It's just your egg, sugar, and egg, and butter. over here without the coffee. So we're gonna wipe the bowl down one more time. Make sure we got everything incorporated. Did you guys know pound cake is called pound cake because everything is a pound of everything? It's a pound of butter, a pound of sugar, a pound of milk, all a pound. Crazy, right? Another cool thing I learned about, when I started cooking, because actually I didn't start cooking on YouTube, but I started baking. And so I would follow people's recipes and I wasn't working at the time. And so I would just let my husband take all of the sugar stuff that we don't need to be eating no way to his team. So they loved me. Mm-hmm. They were like, Mr. Mr. So and so, when is Chanel coming back? Yeah, they like me. I mean, who don't want free desserts? But I learned how to do everything that I know how to do now, outside of making a box cake on YouTube. Anything you need to learn how to do, somebody, I promise you, has filmed themselves doing. I'm just gonna keep it a book. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add this cream. The other reason I didn't want to put the sour cream in initially, one, is because somebody that lived in my house decided to put it back in the refrigerator. Remember, I said everything in baking needs to be room temperature. I guess somebody was like, "Oh, she must have left this out." No, I didn't. But whatever. Alrighty. Another good baking tip or even cooking tip is to have a bowl next to you or some sort of trash. Because going back and forth, ain't nobody got time. So I'm just gonna whip this in, wipe the bowl one at a time, then we're gonna add the sweet potato. And I personally like what was I gonna say? I like something. It'll come back to me. Got all the eggs in there. Now we need to add some vanilla. And please use real vanilla. Don't use that extract stuff. I mean, don't use the imitation stuff. So this is like some Mexican vanilla, I believe, or Spanish. Have some vanilla paste. You don't have to do all of this. This is just me. I like mine to be like tasty. And don't do this if you under some sort of doctor's orders to not eat sugar because you're diabetic or you have some issue with your heart. Because Chanel's not a doctor. Okay, I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a doctor. All right, we're gonna mix that in, and then we're gonna add the sweet potato. Remember, we pureed the sweet potato, and I roasted it in the oven. So now we're gonna take this little thingy out of here. Sit that right here, and we're gonna pour in the sweet potato puree. Most people will probably get on the internet and start telling me, I like potato pie. But you know what I did to prove them wrong? At least at my husband's job. I this is several years ago, but I made a sweet potato pie, and then I told them all that it was a pumpkin pie because they were like, ah. And then they sent all the comments saying, "Ma, like, it ain't even pumpkin pie. Sit down somewhere. Talk about you on 150. You do. You just don't know what's best for you. I know what's best for you. Chanel's reality is all I'm saying. It's my reality. Damn it. I need a paper towel. I don't want my phone to fall. Gotta have good TikTok etiquette. Now I'm gonna go here and flour. We're gonna use the cover. So the flour doesn't come out. I'm gonna put it on the lower tip, the lower setting. And this is 3 cups of flour. Lots of people will tell you to flour milk, flour milk. We're just gonna go ahead and over here and see if it looks right up for us. And I'm eyeing the oil. I can show you guys what it looks like. It's going. Oh shoot. Sorry. The thing with the cake too, you don't want to overbake it. I mean over mix it. So I'm gonna put a little more oil just to make sure that it's gonna be nice and moist. What's y'all's favorite cake? Y'all have like a favorite cake y'all cook? Or bake rather, not cook? Okay. Thank you guys. Please go over to my, let me step out so I can get my hair. No, we going to okay. So this is what it should look like. Let's have to add one more thing. So for my people who are on the YouTube, Functional Reality, let me go ahead and show you guys. This is what your cake batter should look like. But you guys will see it in a little bit once I put it in the bundt cake pan. So I've already greased, as the old people would say, the baking dish. I already greased it. I put some oil, and it doesn't really matter what type of oil, as long as it's. I wouldn't probably use like, you could use olive oil, but I probably would use like the Pam butter, whatever. You don't want to use butter unless there's some specific reason you need to use butter. You want to use oil, and you want to oil it and then add flour and beat it around. So I'll show you. Oh, I don't need to put this up because we'll do it in a second. But this is kind of what you want to do. So you're going to flour your pan. The first thing you're going to do is the oiling, and then you want to flour it. I've already done that, so I'm getting ready to put this in here. And then this is another trick of the trade for me that I use. It's this little thing. I think I showed y'all already. It's made by Wilton, but I think anybody can use it. And this is the quick and easy way to test your cake without having to always use a knife or a toothpick or something like that. So that's one of my tricks of the trade. So now that I got everything incorporated, let me make sure I didn't leave out anything. I don't think I did, outside of the extra butter. And this is made from scratch. So this is not the what do they call it? Box cake. But box cakes, you know, they have their purpose. They do. All right, so now I'm going to, and then now because the guy we're using his recipe, he said put it in a cold oven. Now, none of my ancestors ever said that, but since we trying out his grandma's recipe, then we left the oven cold. And I think he said bake it for like an hour and 10 minutes, but I'm gonna recheck that before on. Really? You don't want to come off the time? What's happening? My right arm is my strongest arm, so we'll go with my right arm. You just want to turn it. Turn it. And then when you get to this point, that's when you're going to take your spatula and get the rest of the cake batter out of here. And then we'll move it around a little bit so that it's even Stevens. Why do I feel like that's something that came on Nickelodeon? I don't know why. I feel that. And also, I'm trying to do this in a hurry so that when my sister gets out of surgery, I will be there to greet her, even though she ain't gonna remember nothing. I told her, I was like, you gonna have the best sleep of your life, sis. Okay? You're gonna wake up and be groggy, but that's gonna be the best sleep you ever had. But you know, this is her first surgery. We talked about it on my YouTube live, like the deadly silent killers. We talked about that last weekend or this past weekend. Things that can kill you because people don't take it seriously, like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension. I shared with you guys. I was diagnosed with lupus last year, and I shared, about my journey of having 13,000 doctors not be able to tell me what the hell is wrong, and 4 surgeries later, I have a diagnosis. No, I actually still don't have a diagnosis. That's the crazy shit. But the lupus diagnosis helped me better understand what was going on with me. So, because my symptoms, let me wash my hands. Because my symptoms were, they basically, all of my autoimmune diseases They all have very similar symptoms. Fatigue, not feeling well, feeling like you got the flu, tired, extreme exhaustion. Like my exhaustion on some days is like, I know I wake up and I'm like, I got this energy, this amount of energy, and that's it. I don't have no more extra energy. So once I run out of my energy, a wrap for me. Okay, what did I do? Did I go? Okay. Is this what I wanted? I can't remember. This is what I wanted. But you want to just kind of even out the cake batter. I hope this cake turns out good because I'm mixing a little bit of extra butter. But I feel like the oil will make up for the butter. So we'll call this sweet potato cake light. This the light version, like Miller Light. And I don't even drink like, so I'm doing this to release the air bubbles that could be stuck in here. All right. So I'll show you guys. This is what my cake looks like before it goes into my oven. And I can undo this one now. This is what my cake batter looks like. It's like that perfect little pumpkin-y cake batter. So once hi Ashley, hi Lily, hi Lenny. I don't know, Andreas 10 or Andreas no? You like the love. Thank you so much. Go over, if you guys have time, go over to Chanel's Reality. It's Chanel, just like this one. Chanel Reality. So it's apostrophe. So Chanel apostrophe S Reality on YouTube. And I have lots of videos over there. Would love if you guys. Hey, YDK. Hi. I love if you guys wanted to go over there and subscribe and show me a little love. That'd be great. But I'll be back once the cake is done and we'll take it out and unpan it and all that. But thanks, guys, for tuning in to another episode of Chanel's Reality. Bye, guys. Now, I don't even know how to get off of this. I've never been on this before. So how do I stop it? Is this the button? End live. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you for spending a little bit of your afternoon, or is it still morning? Oh, afternoon with me. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right. So I'm going to put this in this oven and pray to God. In our live stream. I know I'm crazy.com. I'm over here looking for the pan. Sorry, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I completely forgot. Oh shit. Trying to put my cake in the oven. So I think I showed y'all the cake. But now I'm gonna put it in the oven. I was looking for a cooling rack and something to put underneath the cake in case any of it decides to bubble over. We're not having that. That's bad vibes, okay? So we're not doing that. No. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my cake in the oven. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water to the pan. And this water is not going into the cake, it's going around the cake. Putting this into the pan that's underneath the cake. So that way we can give it some moisture if it needs it. All right, so now we're gonna set the oven for, oh, what did he tell us to bake it at? He said, let's see. Oh, I gotta share my screen. Hold on. Okay, let's see.
Brown butter is perfect. So I'm going to add some butter to the skillet. Butter is brown. We're going to add a little vanilla extract. I'm going to keep stirring this until it cools down. If you want to add some pecans, some walnuts, some alcohol, add it to your butter. I'm going to add my butter to a bowl. To the butter, we add 1.5 cups to 2 cups of powdered sugar. And then you mix it together. I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk, just a little bit. Maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. Cake's been sitting about 15-20 minutes. We're going to turn it over. Ooh, beautiful. Put that brown butter glaze on it. Ooh.
Haven't made a glaze yet. But anyway.
Put your cake in the oven while it's cold.
Oh.
Don't preheat the oven. All the ingredients in there can work its way to the temperature instead of immediately getting in that heat. Number 2, if you want to put 2 cups of brown sugar to make it a little bit more sweet, cool. I made a little brown butter glaze, so I didn't want to do that. I let the glaze be the star of the show. But recipe in the same spot, right next to that follow button. And you know the holidays coming up, so you better say this recipe. But we got grandma's sweet potato pound cake with my brown butter glaze for the win.
Why'd I say I'd man the grill?
Alexa, how long should I bake my sweet potato cake?
FrontEndHunterForecast.com. Bake the sweet potato pound cake for about 50 to 60 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean and insert it into the center of the cake.
Alexa, what temperature should I bake my sweet potato cake?
Here's what I found from SouthernKitchen.com. To make the sweet potato cake, heat the oven to 350 degrees.
Alexa, if I'm making a sweet potato bundt cake, how long should I bake it? And at what temperature?
Right now, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Alexa,
Tonight,
what temperature should I bake my bundt cake, sweet potato cake, in the oven?
Here's what I found. According to MeatToEat.com, pour into a greased and floured bundt pan and bake at 350 F, 176 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes until the cake is baked.
350, and then timer. 1 hour, 5 minutes. All right, now I'm gonna go pack my sister a little overnight bag. She overpacked herself. She didn't bring her computer or anything. I want to bring her everything she needs because I love her. Please send up a prayer for my sister Carmen. She's having surgery today. It's going to take somewhere around 3 to 4 hours, and she's never had a surgery before, so she doesn't really know what to expect. I told her she's going to get the best sleep of her life, and she's in God's hands, and it'll be just fine. So I got to go get packed because I might, depending on what room they put her in, I might go spend the night with her so she isn't alone. But anyways, like I said, love you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you care to receive any notifications about my content. If you like my content, it's a free and easy way to support my channel. So I love you guys. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's Tuesday. Bye, guys. I'm gonna play the hell out of my intro. I paid for it. Yeah, Mr. Rick.
Welcome to Chanel's reality, Chanel, and this is my reality.